part is
Watch
incredible. Who
to
for
the
joy
end.
that was
It's
set
worth
before
it.
him, endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. What is the joy? What is the joy referring to? He knew what he would face. Brian walked us through last week with this. 3 times, Father, remove this cup. Let this cup pass from me. But not my will, but yours be done. He sweat until he bled. He knew precisely what he was facing, and the shame of it, and the pain of it, of being beaten and whipped with a cat o' nine tails, of being mocked. He was beaten so horrifically, he didn't resemble a human man. He was spit on, ridiculed, laughed at, pushed, kicked, had a crown of thorns smushed onto his head. He was stripped naked. He was forced to carry the cross of shame, made for murderers, made for criminals. He then willingly took those 7-inch spikes through his wrist, through his feet. But this isn't the worst of it. He took on himself. We have to get this, the full weight of the full measure of all the sins for anyone who would put their trust in him. He bore the sins of the world. That is weighty. And then it gets worse. He bore the sins of the world alone. And for the first time, our eternal Lord and Savior experienced absence from his Father. And he then received the full measure of the wrath of God, calling out, my God, why have you forsaken me? We may have heard this more times than we can count, but church, it never, ever, we never, ever get to the point where the message of the cross of what he endured becomes old or mundane. We live it daily. And as he endured this, as he journeyed to the cross, he endured the cross and he despised the shame because he knew there was joy coming. He didn't endure the cross and despise its shame with the power to drop everyone who was condemning him and hurting him. Legions of angels. He had the power in his fingertips, the power in his very words to end it. He chose not to because he knew there was joy ahead of him. Well, what was the joy? One, to provide a way for you and for me and anyone who would call on the name of the Lord to be saved, to be forgiven, to be set free, to be made a new creation, to be reconciled before God. He still is there. He intercedes on our behalf. So he did that. He purchased us with his blood. That was a joy, the conquering of death. Secondly, he knew where he was headed when he drew his last breath and said, "It is finished," to the right hand of the throne of God, where he rules and he reigns and he will forevermore. He had the joy in mind, and he knew what he was facing.